friends, welcome to a new video. Look, today we're gonna have fun here on the channel, learning about new types of dinosaurs. Here in the back, hidden in a box, we have two big carnivorous dinosaurs. But we also have other dinosaurs that we've seen in previous videos. These four specimens are herbivores. They fed on plants. And first, we have the great Pachycephalosaurus. We also have in the central part two dinosaurs with crown-shaped skulls. There's the great Triceratops and also the Styracosaurus. Finally, we have a Stegosaurus, characterized by its crown-shaped plates. And what we're going to do first is uncover these two carnivores. Then we'll put them all together and see everything they do. First, let's take a look at this one here. Look, I love it because it's all white with some gray tones. The best part is that this big Tyrannosaurus Rex has lights and sounds. So it's going to be great. It even tells us that part of its tail lights up. On the back, we have it in another color. We can get it either in red or in white. Let's see which one we got. Wow, so we have it in white. Let's see. On this side, we have another piece. Look, friends! It's super cool! It looks like a robotic dinosaur. It's all white, and what I like the most is that both its back and front legs are articulated. That means we can move them. Also, I think this dinosaur will be able to walk automatically, since I'm noticing that it has 4 wheels on the bottom. As you can see what it does, we need to put in 2 batteries. Let's bring them so we can put them in. We put them in correctly. As you can see, the batteries we need are these medium-sized ones. And we put on the protective part so they don't fall out. Now we have everything in place. And to see what it does, we need to press the switch. Let's do it. Wow, friends, look! It lets out a big roar while moving its hind legs at the same time. Also, the light on its tail should light up as well. It looks like it comes with a red light and another one in blue. So now we'll turn off the lights to see how it lights up. For now, let's take a look at all the details. As you can see, this robotic Tyrannosaurus Rex comes with its jaw completely open, showing off its sharp teeth. It also has a tongue detail, and its eye is green. Also, something very characteristic of the T-Rex is that it only had 2 fingers on its front legs. Alright then, let's turn off the light. And that's how its tail lights up, friends. Even though the light is at the tip of the tail, as you can see, almost the whole thing lights up in blue and red colors. Super cool! And this is how it walks automatically. Our big T-Rex leaves our stage to look for some prey and eat it. It's time to see the second of our big carnivores. Also, I'm really excited to bring out this T-Rex because it tells us it has a lot of different features. First of all, we can already see that it tells us it has both lights and sounds. But look! On the side of the box, it shows us a lot more features. Look. It tells us first that the top of its head lights up in different colors. It can also make roaring sounds through its mouth. Thirdly, it tells us that it includes several dinosaur eggs and that we can put them inside the T-Rex. Fourthly, it tells us that it can also walk automatically. And finally, we have a very interesting feature. It seems that on the underside of its mouth, it has a light that projects some shapes. In other words, it has a small projector, so you can see images on the floor. So we have very high expectations. Let's open it up to see if it really does everything it claims. Let's see. Look, I'm already very surprised. Yes, here we have the little dinosaur eggs. we'll look at them now. Let's look at the figure now, since I didn't expect it to look this way. Honestly, I didn't know. It had these golden shades. That gives it a great touch. And I'm realizing something, friends. Even though the box here tells us it's a T-Rex, it's actually not, because I'm noticing that it has 3 fingers on its front legs. And you already know that the T-Rex only has 2 fingers. So it's a big carnivore, but it's definitely not a T-Rex. As you can see, it comes with all these golden parts. And the crest on the top comes in a transparent color. That's because, as it said on the box, it's going to light up in different shades. We can also see its large jaw with a lot of sharp teeth, and its tongue comes in red, but the plastic is semi-transparent. So I think it's also going to light up in the dark. On the other hand, we can also see the wheels on its legs to see how it walks automatically. And on this side, we have a hidden hatch, which is for putting in the eggs and taking them out from the bottom. How cool, friends! For now, let's leave it here because we're going to look at the eggs. I've never had such an original figure before. Let's take out the eggs that come in this little bag. I love it because they're a transparent color, so we can already see the inside. It's a dinosaur, but as you can see, we can't tell what kind of dinosaur it is yet, since it's still inside the egg and not fully formed. Super cool, friends. Let's see. Let's put it inside. We opened the hatch, and it immediately went down to the bottom. Let's put the other one in. Great! And now, they come out from the bottom. I love it, friends. Let's put in the batteries. Now, to see everything it does. We already have the batteries in place. As you can see, they're the same size as in the previous dinosaur. And now we put on the protective plastic and press the switch. Look at this too. Friends, we can already see that it can move its hind legs automatically. We can also see that the top part lights up in red and blue, and it makes a very shrill sound. Honestly, the roar it has is a bit annoying. At the bottom, we have this light with some small shapes, which are what will emit or project the figures onto the floor. For that, we need to turn off the lights. Let's do it! Hello, friends! With the lights off, it's super cool! Look! On the floor, we can see the different shapes. It looks like they are stars and other different shapes. Also, they light up in different shades. The entire front part of our dinosaur also lights up. Super cool, right? Let's see. Let's check if we can also project onto the wall. Look. If we bring it closer, the shapes get bigger. Super cool, friends. This looks like a disco or a big party. Now let's put the dinosaur eggs inside, so they stay in there. And I really wanted to turn it off because the sound of its roar was giving me a headache. And now that we've seen the 2 new carnivores, let's take a look at the rest of the dinosaurs. You'll see how cool they are. Here we have the great Stegosaurus. As you know, it was characterized by the large bony plates divided into 2 big rows. They come in transparent because, as you might have guessed, they glow in the dark. Look, let's turn on the switch. And for now, we can already see how it walks too. Take a look. Its eyes and the bony plates light up. Turning off the lights will help us see it better. Look, impressive! I think out of all the figures, this Stegosaurus one is my favorite. Let's turn on the lights and then turn them off to see another dinosaur. This time we have the great Triceratops, a very famous dinosaur, especially because of the 3 horns it had on its head. Let's talk about an interesting characteristic of the Triceratops. As you can see, it had a strong beak. It used it to dig in the ground and eat roots. And another interesting fact is that the 2 horns on top could reach more than a meter in length. Impressive! It was also a quadrupedal dinosaur, and here on the little figure I like it because it comes with this small crest of spikes on its upper back. I love it. As you can see, the 3rd horn was also much smaller and was located on the top of its nose. The tongue is transparent too. Let's flip the switch. Look! It can also walk on its own, and we're going to turn off the lights to see how its horns light up. Super cool! The Triceratops lights aren't as bright as the previous one. Still, I really like it too. We'll leave it here. And let's go see the last 2 dinosaurs we have left. Oh, the figures of these 2 are also impressive. Plus, they're much heavier and the part that lights up comes in red. For example, here we have the great Pachycephalosaurus. It was known for having a super hard skull, as hard as a rock. Also, the back part was reinforced with skulls and large spikes. Misma especie, it used them to face other predators or even to fight against other members of its own species. This figure also comes articulated. And look! When you move its head, it roars and its skull also lights up. Super cool! It also has this button that's hidden, and when you press it, it raises and lowers its head while lighting up at the same time. I love it! Also, its front legs are super cool. It has 4 fingers, and the fingers are shaped like claws. On the other hand, we have a dinosaur with a crown-shaped skull. It's from the same family as the great Triceratops. Although, as you can see, we can notice some differences, especially in the head area. For now, we can already notice that it only has 1 horn on the top of its nose. A rather long horn. Also, the entire side of its skull is covered with large spikes. Especially the spikes on the top are the biggest. Styracosaurus was generally much smaller than Triceratops. To hear its roar, we need to press one of its legs. And here it is. Also, its horn lights up as well. And now, my friends, we've finished today's video. Here we have all the dinosaurs we've learned about. If you like this video, you can help me out by giving me a big thumbs up. And be sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any videos. And now it's time for me to say goodbye to you all. See you in the next video with more fun surprises. A big kiss. Mwah!